This just in, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, cousins of all ages. Big news from the Spectator in the UK comes this headline, ladies and gentlemen. We've just had the best decade in human history. Seriously. The author's Matt Ridley. The date is, what is the date? I don't see a date on it, but it was out either today or yesterday. And folks, the article says we've just had the best decade in human history. Seriously. And then the subtitle on the article is little of this made the news because good news is no news. And let me just add to that in my own lovable little way, no news, or because good news is no news, even on YouTube and even in, ladies and gentlemen, the truther community. They don't want anything that sounds like good news. They don't want anything that smells like good news. They're just as bad as the mainstream media because they're the same neo-Jesuit fear and guilt blood matrix controllers as the rest of them. We've just had the best decade in human history. Little this has made the news because good news is no news, even in the truther movement. This broadcast is brought to you by the Mistech bracelets. Go to jeffreydaugherty.com, click on the Mistech tab or the Mistech logo, and for the next couple of days through Christmas Day, 30% off instead of 20% off. But you got to give me your name, your address, what size you want, what color you want, all at once, and you got to pay for it. So make it easy for me, and you get an extra 10% off. jeffreydaugherty.com, Mistech logo, Mistech tab. It puts your body back in the Schumann resonance, puts your cells in harmony. We've got a beautiful blood test on the site, and they have literally changed my life. Now, let me just tell you about this article, ladies and gentlemen, because I've been saying it. I get said all the time. I say it all the time. Things are not bad and getting worse. Things are good and getting better. But I get lambasted. I get ridiculed. I get made fun of. And listen, I don't care what the Nutty Otter, I don't care what Nine Nunya, and I don't care what the Beanie Boys say. Things are good, and they are getting better. And now I have empirical proof to share with you, ladies and gentlemen. We are living through the greatest improvement in human living standards in history. Listen to these facts. Sorry, fear porners. Extreme poverty has fallen below 10% of the world's population for the first time. Extreme poverty has fallen below 10% of the world's population for the first time. Within this writer's lifetime, the writer says when he was born, it was 60%. Doesn't say when he was born, but I guarantee he's no older than me. Global inequality has been plunging as Africa and Asia experience faster economic growth than Europe and North America. So number one, extreme poverty has fallen to below 10% of the world's population. 500% reduction. Child mortality worldwide is record low levels. Child mortality worldwide has fallen to record low levels. Things are good and getting better. Less than 10% of the world's population is in extreme poverty. Things are good and getting better. Famine has become virtually extinct. Things are good and getting better. Malaria, polio, heart disease, all in steep decline. Things are good and getting better. Yes, some bad things still happen while the world gets better. Yet getting better it does, and it has done so over the course of this decade at a rate that astonished the most starry-eyed and optimistic observers. But it did not astonish me, ladies and gentlemen. I expected it. I reported it. I predicted it, and boom, we're living in it. Sorry, fear porn. Sorry, nutty beaver. Things are good and getting better. They're not bad and getting worse. Sorry, Nunya 9. Things are good and getting better. They're not bad and getting worse. Sorry, Beanie Boy. Things are not bad and getting worse. They're good and getting better. Am I rubbing it in? You bet your damn sweet bippy I'm rubbing it in, because I'm right and they're wrong. I've been right. They've been wrong. I'll be right. They'll be wrong. And it feels good to feel good about feeling good. Nations are beginning to use less stuff. Less metal, less water, less land. Things are good and getting better. Not just in proportion to productivity, but less stuff, period. Nations are starting to use less stuff. The quantity of all resources consumed per person in Britain, this is the domestic extraction of biomass, metals, minerals, fossil fuels, plus imports and minus exports, fell by a third between 2000 and 2017, 12.5 tons to 8.5 tons. That's a faster decline than the increase in the number of people. So it means fewer resources are being consumed overall. Things are good and they're getting better. Britain, white people, bad white people. They have cut their usage and consumption of resources by 33%. That's a third for you Christians in just 17 years. Things are good and getting better. Efficiencies in agriculture mean the world. I'm so fired up. It feels good to feel good about feeling good, especially when you've been telling people to feel good and that things are good and they're getting better, and now you got proof. So na bitches. I told you it was good and getting better. Efficiencies in agriculture mean the world is now approaching peak farmland. Despite the growing number of people and their demand for more and better food, the productivity of agriculture is rising so fast that human needs are now being supplied by using even less land. By using less land, we're able to feed more people. And for all of you out there that love animals, I love animals. I don't even eat them anymore, generally speaking. Large animals are returning in abundance. And this is good news. Listen to this. The populations of wolves, deer, beavers, beavers, and I'm sure that nutty otters are increasing as well. Lynx, seals, sea eagles, and bald eagles. Bald, that reminds me of a beanie. Bald eagles are also increasing. And even tiger numbers are slowly climbing. I've never seen a tiger climb slowly ever. I'm just saying. So allow me to recap and review and allow me to crow a little bit, because this feels good to feel good and to be telling people that things are good and getting better, and now to have proof, ladies and gentlemen. Exhibit number 1, extreme poverty has fallen to below 10% of the world's population for the first time, when within the last 50 years it was 60%. Global inequality, that means income, population, or global income has been plummeting faster than ever. That's number 2. Child mortality is record low levels. That's number 3. Famine has gone extinct. That's number 4. Dread diseases, malaria, polio, heart disease are all in decline. That's 5 ways things are good and getting gooder, and things are not bad and getting worse. Now, nations are using less metal, less water, less land, and not just in proportion to productivity, but less stuff overall. That's 6. I'm out of, I have to go to another hand. That's 6 ways things are good and getting gooder. Things have the consumption of resources by the average by Britain period are down 33%. That's a third for you Christians. That's 7 reasons. 7 reasons. We are now approaching peak farmland, which means we're feeding more people with less land. That's 8 reasons things are good and getting gooder. And large animals are returning in abundance in rich countries. Wolves, deer, lynx, seals, eagles, tigers, and nutty otters. Beavers are getting more popular. They're coming back. And bald eagles as well. That's 9 reasons why, ladies and gentlemen. 9 reasons why we've just had the best decade in the history of history. And this writer closes out by saying that current trends, the global political future may be uncertain, but the environmental and technological trends are clear and pointing in the right direction. What is this gentleman, Matt Ridley from The Spectator, saying? He's saying Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian whistleblower, is right. Things are not bad and getting worse. Things are good and getting better. He's saying the Nutty Otter, Nunya 9, Beanie Boy, they're all wrong. Things are not bad and getting worse. And Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian whistleblower, is right. Things are good and getting better. And there's now proof. And do you know how funny it is that I'm going to be ridiculed for this information? I'm going to be ridiculed for this program. And people are going to make programs that say how bad I am and how stupid I am. Wow. Things are only bad and getting worse if you're a fear porner on YouTube and that's how you make your money. Then be worried. Be very, very afraid, because we're coming after you with truth, with reality, with peace that passes all understanding. And you guys can sit over there and moan and groan and eat worms, talk about your tribulation and all of your bull crap, and we'll just sit around and watch things get better and better. I got to show, I'm going to read you one thing. I'm going to read you a comment. I'm going to read you a description from a video of one of those individuals. I'm not going to name the individual, but I'm going to read you a comment that they wrote on one of their videos. And I want you to contrast that with what you just heard me talk about. And I want you to decide who's telling the truth. And I want you to decide who you should listen to going forward, ladies and gentlemen. Who's right and who's wrong? Listen to this. Pole shift, hyperinflation, civil unrest, famine, and more is inevitable in your lifetime. Things are bad and they're getting worse, or things are good and they're getting better. And the proof that I just cited, you choose, but make a choice. Quit supporting fear porn. Quit supporting fear porners. Let them run out of money and resources all alone. Cut them off. 2 Trees, I salute you for sending that great super chat donation. Thank you so much. If it has anything to do with fear, guilt, or control, stop and evaluate, then unindoctrinate. Ooh, I like it. Stop, evaluate, unindoctrinate. I like it. I like it a lot. Tracy says, stop, drop, and roll. Stop listening to it. Drop the prescriptions and roll on to a better tomorrow. I feel like Ric Flair. Woo! That was so good, Tracy Dyer. Stop listening to it. Drop the subscriptions and roll on to a better tomorrow. Woo! 2 Trees. Stop, evaluate, then unindoctrinate. Woo! You guys got some Ric Flair salutes. That's great stuff. Siri Global, nice to see you. Very proud of you. I know you don't agree with everything that I say, but I am Very proud of you standing in divinity, sovereignty, and freedom. Joyce Marie, nice to see you. This has been a pretty damn good decade, but I'm telling you, the best years of our lives are ahead of us. Hello to you in Winter Springs, Florida. Empirical, I love that word. It is a nice word, isn't it? Let's see. Out of here and morality rates will plummet even more. I'm not sure what that means. Maybe get out of fear and mortality rates will plummet even more. I'm not sure. Can't figure that out. When I first started watching you, says Lauren Pathfinder, I repeatedly turned you off. But after a short time, I became unindoctrinated in many ways. Thank you. Thank you, Lauren, for having the guts to watch and to listen. And thank you for realizing that it wasn't me that unindoctrinated you, but you unindoctrinated you. Thank you, and I'm happy to help. Thank you, and I'm happy to help. That's funny. Everything is getting better. Absolutely. What else we got? We got our friends are coming back. The Eagles are a big problem here because there's too many. There's a bunch of them up in the Eagles are like crows in Alaska. My sister lives up there now, and they actually are going to have to kill some damn eagles because they're everywhere. They're terrible. Coy wolves, says Lauren, are abundant there where she is. I love that the animals are making a comeback and that bad things are declining. Thanks for reporting, Jeff, says Amy Ben Ezra. It's my pleasure, and it really is. Let's pretend all this great news. Let's just get all the great news out there. That was kind of negative. I'm going to pull that one out. I don't like negativity right now. Starve out the fear porners. Literally, starve them out. Stop subscribing to them. Stop watching them. Their watch times will go way down. Stop sending them money because some of them, I know some of them buy their subscribers. That's why they can't monetize. So quit sending them money and you will starve them out, literally. People think you are bad, just can't handle the truth. Well, thank you, Chapstick. I believe that. And I do believe that. What can anybody really do about most of that crap anyhow? But the crap's getting better, CamelTube 9429. Joseph H. says he disagrees. This decade was the worst decade ever for him. Joseph H., maybe it was the worst decade ever for you because you keep saying it was the worst decade ever for you. You know what, Joseph H.? The world can be getting better all around you. But if you don't want to get better yourself, then you won't get better. You could be living in a room full of beautiful, clean, pure oxygen. But if you won't breathe it in, you will die in that room blue because you wouldn't breathe. I'm here to tell you, Joseph H., that your life is dependent upon the quality of the questions you ask yourself and the quality of the words that you speak. Start speaking words of life. Start asking good questions. Instead of asking, why was this the worst decade ever for me? Ask, how can I make sure that the next decade is better for me? It doesn't matter. You can disagree. Nobody said it was the worst decade ever for you or it was the best decade ever for you. I don't really want to jump on you, bro, but think about that statement. All of those things are going good, and you've decided to stay in a shitty place. Come on, man. You're better than that. You're smarter than that. Stop accepting it. Pick yourself up, turn yourself around, shake yourself off, and say, I'm going to say it, this is going to be the best year ever for Joseph H. This will be the best year ever for Joseph H. Everybody in the chat room right now, say it with me. Those of you, when you watch this video, whether it's today, tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, say these words with me right here today. Joseph H., we're giving you a wave to ride. This year will be the best year ever for Joseph H. One more time. This year will be the best year ever for Joseph H. Thank you, Siri, for keeping hope alive and being an inspiration and letting and just it's so good to see that some people do get it and do actually take their divinity, their sovereignty, and their freedom and run with it. Let's see. Flipping by, not buying into their many false cons. Good for you. I am Monica. Don't feed the beast. Lauren, I helped open the doors of her perception. Thank you. The unraveling of Jesus is proof of the best decade. I like that. The truth is coming out after 2,000 years. That's Dror Schmel. I agree with that 100%. What else do we got here? Cynthia says that maybe it would help them come out of darkness and into the light. Let's hope so. Best year ever, says Amy Ben Ezra. This will be the best year ever for Jeffrey Daugherty. There's no doubt about it. My channel is exploding with subscribers. Richie Abramite says, what you focus on will grow. Absolutely, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely, ladies and gentlemen. For me personally, as a Jew, says Dror, the exposure of Jesus as a false invented idol is proof of the best decade ever. I like it. Universal One. Jeff, you're 100% right. Speak good, think good, live good, be good. My life has taken a jump up a couple levels. Life is great, says Universal One. Scotty Boy says, said and said so is said so it shall be. Toth 777 2020 will be awesomeness. Yes, it will, ladies and gentlemen. The world is not bad. It's not getting worse. The world is good. It's getting better. We're the last generation of real humans. There's over 40,000 of us. We can win today, build a better today, write a better tomorrow, and make a better future for everybody. We're divine. We're sovereign. We're free. We're not filled with original sin. Get that cunt out of my face. We got the spark of divinity within, ladies and gentlemen. We guide our own spirits. We master our own ascensions, and we are our own gurus. Damn it. Starve them out. What was Tracy's thing? But again, I like it. Stop listening to fear porn and fear porners. Drop your subscriptions to fear porn and fear porners and roll on to a better tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you being here. Thank you, Samuel. That's easier for me to say. And tonight, ladies and gentlemen, at 9 p.m. Central Time, we will have Jay Campbell back with us tonight, and we're going to talk about all kinds of good stuff. Siri asked, how come we're not having Tim on? Like I said, we will probably have Tim on at another time, but I don't want to have Tim on at this time because of some of the things that are brewing around in the background. I'm so thankful that we got rid of that spirit on this channel, and I am not anxious to bring it back. So we won't be talking with Tim Kelly today. We'll talk with him a little bit in the future because I don't want no drama, and neither does, well, I just don't want no drama, so we're going to leave it alone. We are going to leave that drama alone. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's the way it is, and that's the way it's going to be. And Siri, you don't have to like it. If you want to have a discussion about what happened with Tim and Global Witness, put it on your channel. Have a great discussion about it. If Tim wants to have a discussion about what happened with him and Global Witness, let him put it on his channel and have a great discussion about it. You two could have a great discussion on both your channels about it. I'm not going to bring that spirit back onto my channel right now. We haven't had that spirit here since 1969 or something like that. This ain't the Hotel California. And we've moved on past that, and we're not bringing it back again. We'll call people out. We'll say when they're wrong, but we're not here to talk about the old past. And we're not here to talk about things that are growing more and more insignificant every single day. And Linda, keep reading that book. It's amazing. And you've got to get Shakespeare's Secret Messiah and read that next. Just so powerful. Just so powerful. Yep, we checked him out a while ago, and he did get to leave following the Hotel California reference. You know, we're just done. What is fear porn, Santino? It's things that make you afraid. Oh my God, the tribulation's coming. Oh my God, the rapture's coming. Oh my God, financial collapse is coming. Oh my God, head chopping off is coming. All this bad stuff is coming. Anything that makes you afraid is fear porn. I think fear porn's worse than real porn and not nearly as much fun, but unfortunately just as addictive. Thank you, Toth. I agree. And since it's my channel, I guess it doesn't matter who else does or does not agree. I wanted to talk. I mean, you know, you guys brought it out. You shouldn't have. You shouldn't have done that in the chat room, but you did. Tim wanted to come on and talk about his medicines. I was happy to have him come on and talk about his medicines. But Tim kept pushing to make it into a discussion about what happened between him and Global Witness and why Global Witness threw him out and why Global Witness threw Siri out. And that's important stuff. And that's terrible stuff. And that's bad stuff. And he never should have done that. But that's not what this is about. That is not what this is about. And shame on you for going into the chat room and calling out a guy that was just trying to help a brother and a sister out. So, you know what? I just decided that I didn't want to make it about that, and we're not going to make it about that because we're not bringing that spirit back in. We haven't had that spirit here since 1969 or something like that. So, ladies and gentlemen, tonight, Jay Campbell, 9:00 p.m. Central Time. And we're going to have a good time. We're going to talk about some more good stuff. We're going to talk about going and growing and becoming bigger and better. And the world is becoming a better place. And we do need to keep out and we need to move forward. And that's exactly what we're doing. It's a song, Santino, Hotel California. So, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you tonight at 9 p.m. with Jay Campbell. I may be back in between. And remember, there's proof things are not bad and getting worse. Things are good and getting better. And for the record, I do think that Derek Bros and Global Witness are wrong. I think he's building a cult. I think he's dangerous. I think he's a liar. I think he's a deceiver. I think he is maybe an agent to distract the truther community and maybe is a empty soul now possessed by a walk-in. So if there's any doubt about that, now you know. And that's why we're not letting that back in here, and we're not going to bring that back in here. So boom, it's done. It's over. And we are moving on. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being a winner. And thank you so much for being part of the answer and not part of the problem. Things aren't bad and getting worse. Things are good and getting better. We're winners and we're going to keep winning, and let's win together. I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian Whistleblower, reminding you that you're divine, you're sovereign, and you're free. Say no to fear porn. Stop watching it. Drop your subscription. Stop watching it. Drop your subscriptions and roll on to better things. I salute you for being here, seeking after truth. And until next time, I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian Whistleblower, the best in the world at what I do, le champion of biblical interpretation and spiritual revelation, getting it done in style with sexiness and fun. And we're glad to have you all here.